Alright, so this is my Creality Ender 5S1 Sonic Pad. And a bunch of tools laying around from trying to figure all of this out, but it's basically a Mercury 1.1.5. I have the user mod from Rock Salt putting the towers up front, and idlers in the back. Shortens up the belt path, there's one less set of pulleys and stuff. User mod from Sir Walsh to incorporate the Evantis toolhead, part Eva, part Mantis. So it seems to be working pretty well with my Rapido UHF and Sherpa Mini. I am still getting some noise and vibration out of the tool head. So once you build a Mercury 1, what do? You print off new parts for your Mercury 1. The big problem I had was I was trying to use the factory Sprite control board with ribbon cable. And that's what you hear vibrating right now, is the adapter to hold that. And that's what I'm printing now, is a more solid version of that. But I've still got the Creality factory enclosure on here. I had to space my Z about 40 millimeters, so each of those blocks is 20. It seems to be working okay for now. But that takes care of that. And I've routed the wires. I'm going to get this while it's printing. Yeah, I've routed the wires inside the extrusion for now. Definitely going to do some cleanup work, but the biggest problem I'm finding is that the 5S1 has all of this smooth exterior on the extrusion, so it's real hard to mount things to it. To include, I've got the same problem on the back for trying to put a clicky dock. I'm going to have to figure that one out. Currently, I do have the probe, the CR Touch probe on there, but I'm using a clicky instead, which as of right now, until I figure out the dock, it's just I install it by hand and take it off by hand and then let her rip. But she's definitely printing. She's certainly not perfect. I think it's certainly usable, but after I get this part done, I think I'm going to start working on the clicky dock so I can get that working, and then I'll figure out what she needs most from that point on. Some of my parts are ABS, some of them are PLA Plus. I think I'm going to have to do them all. Actually, I lied. None of them are ABS. I have some in Polylite ASA, and some of them are in eSun PLA Plus. I think I'm going to replace the PLA ones with some ASA for temperature reasons. But yeah. Chewing through the roll pretty decent right now, nothing special, but I don't think it's pushing more than maybe 20 cubic millimeters per second right now. I've had her up to 32 and it was still flowing pretty nice, and that's with this junk and no flow testing or anything, so definitely going to be an upgrade from the factory. Currently she's set at 5,000 for accelerations, and I think a max of 300 millimeters per second. I don't remember what this slicer setting is. But fast enough to get it done, not fast enough to be blazing speed. I've got a 0.6 nozzle on there, and I'm only laying 0.45 lines, so I'm definitely well shy of what she could max out at. But does a pretty decent job. The other thing I'm going to have to figure out, and I think my idea is going to be that I've got the Creality Sonic pad with this little Sonic pad input shaping AXDL thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a holder for it that goes in where the nozzle goes to be right on the tool head when it's doing input shaping, and that should seriously improve accuracy of that reading. And then I just take it off, put my nozzle back in, and let's face it, you don't do input shaping all the time. So, but and even with those 5015s or whatever they're called, she's not that loud. She's actually decently quiet. I mean, I wouldn't want to try to have a video call with it going in the background, but it certainly isn't distracting to be sitting on the other side of the room. So she's not that bad. Before anybody asks, I am not sharing this STL with anybody. This is a prototype that I'm working with Sir Walsh on trying to figure out how to get right. But the tool head is his design and his baby, so I'm not going to try and even release just this remix. This is, if he wants to include it in his tool head, he can. Otherwise, there's too much. It's his baby. I'm barely even. Heck, I didn't even come up with the design. I just modified it to be one piece instead of two. So, if this works out and he wants to add it to the list, then that's all on him. So. I think we get the point here. I'm not going to sit here and just let this keep going. I'm going to stop it. But, yep. I don't know. We don't know what the future holds for it, but it certainly is a vast improvement over the 5S1 I had. I don't really know that it's a Zero G Mercury 1.1.5 with all the modifications, but that is absolutely, I mean, these are the Zero G files. This is a modified, this is a modified, this is a modified. It's the same idea with a bunch of user mods, and none of them are mine, so but that's what we're going to call it.